Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
I'm ready.
Today we're all about the benefits of knowing more than one language, multilingualism.
Right.
We found this awesome article. It's from lingualid.com called Multilingualism Benefits: Why Learn Multiple Languages.
Yeah, it's really good.
It's full of really interesting stuff. I'm excited to dig into it with you. Like right away, something I thought was super interesting was how it busts some of the myths about language learning.
Right off the bat.
Yeah, exactly. Like one of those myths a lot of people believe is that adults can't really learn new languages very well.
Yeah, but that's just not true.
I know, right? I've heard that one a lot. It's like once you're past a certain age, you just can't pick up a new language.
You can, totally. And the article backs that up.
Mm.
And not only that, but it also talks about how early exposure to multiple languages is actually a good thing for kids.
Yeah, I remember that. So many people think it'll confuse them or something.
Right, but it's actually the opposite. It's like giving their brains a head start.
Exactly. Okay, so let's get into the brain power stuff. The article talks about something called executive control. What is that exactly?
Okay, so think of it as your brain's control tower. It helps you focus, plan, multitask, all those things we need to navigate our daily lives. And you know what's interesting?
What?
Bilingual people, people who speak two languages, often outperform monolinguals, people who only speak one, in tasks that require this kind of mental juggling.
Whoa, so if I'm constantly switching between tasks and trying to stay organized, knowing more than one language could actually help me manage it all.
Exactly. It's like a mental workout for your brain.
I like the sound of that. So wait, are you telling me that just by learning a new language, I'm rewiring my brain?
Basically, yeah. It's because of something called brain plasticity. Learning a new language makes your brain more adaptable.
That's amazing. It's like giving your brain an upgrade.
Right. And here's the best part. The more languages you learn, the easier it gets.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the article says that bilingual adults actually learn a third language faster than monolinguals learn a second.
Wow, it's like a snowball effect.
Exactly.
I wish I had known this back when I was struggling with French in high school. But seriously, it's incredible how learning languages can have such a positive impact on your brain.
Oh, yeah, and it's not just about making your brain faster. Think long-term benefits, too.
Oh, okay, like what?
Well, the article talks about how research suggests bilingual people might actually delay the onset of dementia and Alzheimer's by several years.
Wow, that's a big deal. So it's not just about communication, it's about keeping your brain healthy as you age.
Exactly. And not only that, but it can also help with recovery from a stroke. It's like building up a cognitive reserve that helps your brain bounce back from challenges.
Okay, I'm sold. I'm starting to see language learning as a serious brain booster.
Right. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about your career. I know you're always interested in getting ahead.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Well, you know how variable language skills are becoming in the job market these days.
Yeah, besides impressing people at parties.
Right. But think about it. This article says a whopping 90% of employers in the U.S. look for employees with multiple language skills.
90%. Wow, okay, that's huge. And doesn't it also say something about how much more multilingual people can earn?
Yeah, the article says they can make anywhere from 5% to 20% more per hour. That's a pretty big difference.
Okay, now I'm really listening. Not only can I keep my brain sharp, but I could potentially make more money too. What kinds of industries are looking for these skills?
Well, a lot of them, like marketing, transportation, banking, technology, basically any industry that's dealing with a global audience.
Yeah.
Makes sense, right?
It totally does. It feels like the world is getting smaller and smaller. Being able to communicate with people from different countries is more and more important.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But, it's not just about the practical side of things either. Learning a new language opens you up to a whole other culture, different traditions, different ways of thinking.
Yeah, I've always thought that learning a language is more than just words. It's like a window into another culture's way of seeing the world.
I love that. The article even talks about something called code switching. It's the ability to adapt your communication style based on who you're talking to.
Oh, like being able to switch between being formal and informal depending on the situation.
Yeah, exactly. But it goes even deeper than that. It's about understanding the subtle nuances of different cultures and being able to connect on a more meaningful level.
Wow, that's so cool. I've always felt a little lost when traveling to places where I don't speak the language. It's like I'm missing out on those deeper connections.
Right, but imagine how much richer your travel experiences could be if you could understand the language and culture. Or think about how much better you could understand global events if you could access different perspectives through language.
Okay, I'm officially convinced that language learning is a superpower. It's not just about communicating, it's about expanding your mind and your world. But it's not just about connecting with other cultures, is it? This article talks about personal growth and identity, too.
Oh, absolutely. It's a huge part of it. Mastering a new language can really boost your confidence and your resilience. It pushes you out of your comfort zone and makes you think in new ways.
Yeah, like leveling up in real life.
Right. And that growth can have an impact on everything you do, how you communicate, how you think, even how you see yourself.
It sounds like learning a new language is like embarking on a journey of self-discovery.
It really is. And like any good journey, it has its challenges and its rewards.
Speaking of challenges, I'm curious about how education systems are handling this growing need for multilingualism. The article mentioned something about California investing in language programs, right?
Oh, yeah. Big time. California has a huge population of kids who don't speak English at home.
Right.
So they've recognized how important it is to support those students. In 2021, they actually allocated $10 million to expand multilingual programs in schools.
Wow. That's incredible. Are there programs like that where I live? This is making me want to do some research and see what's happening in my own community.
That's a great idea. It's worth looking into.
Hmm.
And it really shows how important people are starting to think multilingualism is for education. It's not just about learning another language. It's about making learning fair and accessible for everyone.
Exactly. It's about recognizing and valuing the diversity of languages and cultures that already exist in our communities.
Exactly. And this brings up another really important benefit of multilingualism,
What's that?
its impact on social skills and emotional intelligence.
Oh, I'm so interested in that. There's something about the way bilingual people communicate.
You're picking up on something for sure. The article talks about how multilingual people are often better at understanding different points of view.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, they're more attuned to the subtle things that can impact communication.
So it's like they have a sixth sense for reading people.
You could say that. They're just really good at navigating social situations. And that can help you in every area of your life, build stronger relationships, handle conflicts better.
And just understand people better in general.
Absolutely.
Wow, this is amazing. We've covered so much already, and it's clear that multilingualism is so much more than just speaking more than one language. It has all these incredible benefits for your brain, your career, your relationships, and even your sense of self.
It really is a fascinating topic, and we've only just scratched the surface.
I know. I'm so excited to keep digging deeper into this world.
Me too. There's so much more to discover. It's really cool how learning a language can actually change how you see yourself.
Oh, tell me more about that.
Like when you learn a new language, you're not just memorizing words, you're actually kind of stepping into a whole different way of seeing the world. You're exposed to new ways of thinking, new ways of expressing yourself, even experiencing emotions.
I see, yeah.
It's like it shakes up everything you thought you knew about the world. You start to see things from a different perspective, and that can even help you understand your own culture better.
That's fascinating. It's like you're rediscovering your own roots through the lens of another culture.
Exactly. Thinking about your career, this article makes a really strong case for how knowing multiple languages can really help you get ahead.
Oh, for sure. Tell me more about that.
It's all about global communication. Being able to talk to people from different countries is like a golden ticket these days.
Right.
More job opportunities, more earning potential, just overall more successful in the workplace.
Yeah, the article mentions something about 90% of employers in the U.S. needing multilingual employees. Is that right?
Yeah, 90%. That's almost all of them.
It really shows how important cross-cultural communication has become in business.
It really does. And don't forget about the earning potential, too.
Right, right. The article said they could earn 5% to 20% more.
That's a big difference,
Yeah.
especially over time.
Yeah, no kidding. Okay, so which industries are really looking for these skills?
Think global,
Mm-hmm.
like marketing, transportation, those kinds of things. Oh, and banking. Definitely banking. Technology is a big one, too. Basically, anything that involves working with people from all over the world.
That makes sense. As the world becomes more interconnected, being able to communicate across cultures is only going to become more important.
Absolutely. And, it goes beyond just the practical stuff. Learning a language lets you experience another culture in a whole new way. Their traditions, art, how they see the world.
Right. It's like stepping into another world.
Totally. Remember that thing we talked about before, code switching? That's a big part of understanding another culture.
Right, right. Being able to adapt your communication style.
It's like you're showing that you understand and respect their culture. It can really help break down those barriers between people.
It's like speaking the language of empathy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it can make your travel experiences so much richer, too.
Oh, absolutely. Imagine being able to fully immerse yourself in another culture, to really understand the people and their way of life.
Yeah. And think about how much better you could understand global events if you could access different perspectives through language.
Right. It's like having a whole new set of lenses to see the world through. So we've talked about the brain benefits, the career advantages, and the cultural enrichment. But there's another aspect of language learning that I find really fascinating.
What's that?
It's the impact it has on personal growth and identity.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. Learning a new language can really challenge you to grow as a person. You have to push yourself outside of your comfort zone, try new things, and embrace the unknown.
And that can be a really powerful experience.
Absolutely. You might even discover hidden talents or passions you never knew you had.
It's like you're unlocking a whole new version of yourself.
Exactly. And mastering something as challenging as a new language can really boost your confidence and resilience.
I can see that. It's like you're proving to yourself that you can achieve anything you set your mind to.
Exactly. Now think about it. You mentioned earlier you're interested in education. Well, this article really digs into how multilingualism can benefit students.
Oh, yeah. Tell me more about that.
Well, we already talked about all those cognitive benefits, right?
Yeah.
Like better executive control, better memory, being able to switch between tasks more easily.
Right, right.
Well, all of those things directly help students succeed in school.
So it's not just about speaking another language. It's about having a real cognitive advantage in all areas of learning.
Exactly. It's like giving students a toolbox full of skills that will help them in every subject.
Yeah.
And on top of that, knowing multiple languages can make kids more interested in learning and more curious about the world.
Makes sense. The more you're exposed to different languages and cultures, the more you realize how much there is to learn and explore.
Absolutely. And don't forget about the opportunities that open up down the road, like studying abroad or getting to specialized careers.
Right. It's like you're opening doors to a whole world of possibilities. Oh, and remember that example from California we talked about before? Their investment in those language programs? Can you remind me about that?
Oh yeah, they put a lot of money into that, like $10 million.
I know, it's amazing.
They realized that they had a lot of kids who didn't speak English at home,
Right.
and they decided to really support them. They created all these programs to help them learn English and to value their native languages too.
It's amazing to see a state making such a big commitment to multilingual education. It really shows that they understand the value of diversity and inclusion.
Yeah, it sets a great example for other places.
Okay, so we've talked about the brain, career, culture, and education.
Oh, and we can't forget about the social and communication benefits too.
Right, right. The article talked about how multilingual people are often more socially adept and emotionally intelligent.
Exactly. They're better at picking up on those subtle cues in social situations.
It's like they have this extra sense that helps them understand people better.
Yeah, and they're better at seeing things from different perspectives, which can be really helpful in resolving conflicts and building strong relationships.
It's like a superpower for social intelligence.
You could say that. And they tend to be more empathetic, too, since they're used to understanding different cultures and ways of thinking.
That makes a lot of sense. The more you're exposed to different perspectives, the more you learn to appreciate the complexity of human experience.
Exactly. And that kind of empathy is so important for building bridges between people and creating a more compassionate world.
It's like language becomes this amazing tool for connecting with people on a deeper level.
It really is.
So we've covered so much ground today, and it's clear that multilingualism has all these amazing benefits. But I think it's important to acknowledge that the journey of learning a new language isn't always easy.
Right. It can be challenging, especially at the beginning.
So what advice would you give to someone who's thinking about starting to learn a new language?
Well, first of all, choose a language that you're really passionate about, something that excites you and that you can see yourself using in the future.
Yeah, when you're genuinely interested in a language, it makes the learning process so much more enjoyable.
Absolutely. And don't try to do too much too soon. Set realistic goals, be patient with yourself, and celebrate those small victories along the way.
Don't be afraid to make mistakes either. Everyone stumbles when they're learning something new.
Exactly. Mistakes are just opportunities to learn and grow, and find ways to make language learning fun. Watch movies, listen to music, connect with other learners, the more you enjoy the process, the more likely you are to stick with it.
That's such great advice. It's all about finding what works for you and making it a part of your life.
Exactly. And remember why you started learning in the first place. What are your goals? What do you hope to gain from this experience?
Connecting with your why can be a powerful motivator, especially when you hit those inevitable bumps in the road.
Absolutely. And trust me, the rewards are worth it. Learning a new language can open up a whole new world of possibilities.
I love that analogy. It really captures the essence of language learning.
Hmm.
So, as we wrap up our deep dive into this world of multilingualism, what's something we can leave our listeners with to think about?
Hmm. That's a good question. Well, we've talked about so many benefits today, right? From brain power to career opportunities to cultural understanding.
Right.
So maybe the question is, what language could you be inspired to learn next?
Oh, I like that.
And how could that new language enrich your life? What doors could it open for you?
It's a reminder that language learning is a journey that can take you anywhere you want to go.
Exactly. It's adventure that can change your mind, your heart, and even how you see the world.
So, to everyone listening, embrace the challenge, embrace the journey, and embrace the amazing gift of multilingualism.
Until next time, keep diving deep.